Hi everyone, this is Emmy. Today I'm going to show you how to knit this little beginner baby hat. So let's get started. If you find the videos too fast, you can slow them down by clicking on the gear icon below the video. To make this little baby hat, I'm going to start at the bottom and I'm going to work up. And I'm working with 2 strands of worsted weight yarn and 8mm knitting needles. And I'm going to start by casting on 24 stitches. To cast on, I wrap the yarn around my thumb and then I transfer it to my finger and then back to my thumb again. So now I have a little twist there. So I'm just going to go ahead and cast on 24 stitches. And I'm just going to do a small number just to demonstrate because I already have the hat made. So for the first 2 rows, I'm going to do ribbing of knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, purl 2. If you don't like working with 2 strands of yarn, you can always use a chunky yarn instead, such as Red Heart Chunky. And that's a really thick yarn like this, but it's very, very soft. So I'm going to knit the first stitch, knit the second stitch. Now I'm going to purl, so I'll bring my yarn over towards me, insert into the stitch with the needle coming out toward the back, and purl. Now I'm going to bring the yarn back over and I'm going to knit 2 stitches. 1, 2. And then purl, so bring the yarn back over and purl. Bring the yarn back to the front and knit 2. And bring the yarn to the back and purl 2. So that's the first row of ribbings. Now I'm going to work ribbing for 1 more row. So again, knit 2, purl 2. Knit 2, purl 2. Knit 2, purl 2. And now I have 2 rows of ribbing. And now I'm going to work stockinette stitch for 14 rows. To work stockinette stitch, you're going to knit 1 row, and then you're going to purl the next row. So knit every stitch across the row. Okay, so knit every stitch across the row. Then for the next row, purl every stitch across the row. So every stitch across the row, you will purl. And that's what stockinette stitch looks like. 1 row of knit, 1 row of purl. Okay, after you have your 14 rows worked, you're going to cast off. So to cast off, knit the first stitch, knit the next stitch, pull the previous stitch over and off the needle, knit the next stitch, pull the previous stitch over and off the needle. You're going to repeat that all the way across the row, and you will have worked a rectangle that looks like this. So now I've threaded the yarn end into a yarn needle, and I'm going to weave through this row of stitches every 3rd or 4th stitch. That, and then you pull to gather up and close the top of the hat. Bring these 2 tightly together and just take 1 stitch to secure it, like that, and sew the back seam of the hat. And that's it. That's how easy it is to knit this little hat. And you can add a pom-pom, and I'll attach a link below on how to make a faux fur pom-pom. Or you could just add a fun fur pom-pom. If you have tags, you can sew a little tag on the bottom. But if you don't have tags, this is just a rectangle of felt with a button sewn on. And you can place that on the bottom of the hat and sew that on. And that will add a cute detail as well. So there you go. That's how easy it is to knit this little baby hat. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.